Hello, welcome back to my channel. This is Ignited Intuition with Inesha, and I am here for July 2022 with a monthly pick a pile reading. And I've pulled the cards already. I have different cards, including tarot and oracle, posed with different questions for the month. And it will show you things like your journey and what you can expect, and any kind of themes or focuses for the month of July. So going to get right into it. You can pick a pile however you wish. You can do it just by your intuition. The piles are 1, 2, 3, and 4. You can choose by the numbers 1, 2, 3, and 4. You can do it visually or envision, any which way, basically any which way that you want to pick this pile for you and what you think you might discover in what I reveal for the month. All is welcome. You could pick multiple piles if you want. You're not necessarily have to pick one. Do as you wish. So we'll get right into it, and I'll see you in your pile. Okay, if you are here for pile 1, these are going to be your messages for July 2022. And I will go ahead now and just spread the cards how I intend to read them and pull them and discuss them. Okay, so here we go. So I'd like to start off with the themes and focuses for July, and I have my Milagros charms here that I'm using. Love these Milagros charms. So we have a gun, we have a RIP tombstone, we have a pair of like little baby booties. We also have like the star, a star here with the moon and sun on top of it. So first things I'm kind of seeing is like off to a head start, so to speak. And this is like coming from a like, I'm hearing like dawn is a new day. Like, from night comes light again, and from the darkness and from the stars again, light penetrates through. It's like inevitable that light penetrates through. That's kind of what I'm getting from the sun, star, moon little gem here. There's not a gem. Whatever. Anyway, but this RIP, this is telling me like the focus right now is like on things that are, kind of either needing to be buried, or let the worms take it, so to speak, but of basically things needing to either die out, or the focus on things that are changing, so to speak. And what I'm sensing from that is like this gun is like kind of reminding me like the start of a race, and these feet, it's like I'm hearing like, and you're on your mark, 1, 2, 3, go. And there's this sense like things that are kind of shifting for you on a much bigger, grander scale. And so it might be uncomfortable, the fit, because I'm feeling like these little booties are kind of small. So you might be feeling like an uncomfortable fit for July. And like that's kind of meaning even like, in your own shoes, and like even discomfort and where you're headed. Like I'm seeing like this race, like you're starting like at the very beginning of something, And there's discomfort when you have like a new pair of shoes you got to break in almost, you know. And maybe you're feeling like you're kind of navigating blindly because there's so many like endings that might be happening for you in July, or the focus on like transformation and like, you know, kind of a new life after a seeming period of like um, death, so to speak. You know what I mean? So anyway, that's kind of what the focus I'm feeling for the month for you so far. Now I wanted to say, because I had wrote down some words for the piles when I was just looking over them and kind of meditating on them, and I was just listening to what I heard. And for the first pile, this pile, I heard like this like somber tone, and there was like a or like a hmm. And the other things I wrote down here is I am responsible. I wrote down adamant, and I also wrote down the word respect. And one of the last things that I gained was the main goal of this pile. It's confrontation. So it kind of makes sense like that there's like this kind of somber tone, because it's like when you're in the middle of things changing from one thing to another, like something that has been is no longer like existing in your life, and now you're, you know, gearing up for something new to exist in your life. There seems to be like this confrontation that you have to take of yourself and stock of like of all these things that I mentioned, you know. And you're like, it feels like you're almost like traveling blindly, and that's why it feels like this somber tone and this feeling of like needing to take one's journey in their own hands, you know, so to speak. Like, on your mark, get ready, let's go. You're in the race. Like, you've signed up for the race. You're here, and you've got to keep it moving as soon as that gun goes off. But yeah, also for some reason I'm hearing like, don't jump the gun. So just because you're experiencing these shifts doesn't mean you have to like kind of be gung ho. You just kind of got to put one foot in front of the other. So right into the journey that you're taking for July 2022. And you're, okay, beautiful. Stepping into power, and it says you are strong beyond measure. Yeah, so like I was saying, it's like I'm kind of already feeling like a sense of like, you know, putting on your big boy pants and kind of, you know, stepping into this place where it looks a lot different than what has happened already for you, or it looks a lot different than what has existed for you. But like I'm kind of seeing like you're wanting to change your stars. I'm also now seeing like the movie A Knight's Tale with Heath Ledger and a couple other people were in that movie, and like following the stars, and his like father told him he could follow the stars home. So whatever, it's like this navigation that you're taking upon yourself because you're wanting to kind of live a life that is more to your T, you know what I mean? Maybe you've been living shallowly, or maybe you've been living a life like that you feel like is not of your making, or like, you know, whatever the choices you've made so far, they're just you're kind of it's outdated. It's outdated, and that's that need with the RIP tombstone to like kind of lay certain things down to rest, so that this journey you're taking in July is stepping into your power. Like, that is something unknown, especially if you have been shying away from your power, if it's something that's been kind of on the back burner for you. Like, boom, it's like, let's go, you're ready. That's your journey for this month so far, stepping into your power. So the allies that can assist you on the way, I have some animal allies here, and this is for July, of course. So it's the elephant spirit. It says learn from the past. Beautiful. And nightingale spirit, it says love is all around. Okay, sweet. So these are just kind of reminders and animal spirits that you can take with you for the month. And it kind of just allows you to, you know, kind of have like an ally along the way. Like we have all these allies, and these are animal allies, and animals totally exist in our existence. And why not use their medicine for your gain, for your comfort, for their wisdom, whatever it is. So With the elephant spirit, learn from the past. Yeah, exactly. Like I said, things are definitely shifting and changing for you, and like the modes of the at which you used to operate in are shifting. And so it's saying like even though things are changing on a much grander scale than you imagine, uh, it's the chance to like know where you came from. You know what I mean? Know where you came from, and that's how you're able to step into your power, because you're able to integrate and acknowledge everything that has existed in your life thus far. You know, this nightingale spirit, it's kind of, I'm seeing these look like little boom boxes to me almost. These like, I think these are flowers that it's sitting on. But what I'm feeling like that is like the birds singing, you know what I mean? Like the birds don't ever stop singing. Like that's their communication and how they move in the world. And it's kind of a reminder that like even though it kind of feels, maybe it might feel like you're, you know, alienated this month, just because it's such a, it's feeling like almost like I gotta depend on myself this month more so. But that doesn't mean that that's true in the sense of you're alone. You know what I mean? Just because it's a solo trek right now doesn't mean that there aren't um, people around you and friends and family and people who care about you. Like, it's a reminder that, you know, you're not a solo singer. You know what I mean? Birds, I feel like they're community, most of them are like community kind of spirit animals. And it's saying like, you know, remember that you do have community around you. That's that reminder of like the stars, the moon, and the sun. Like everyone on this earth plane experiences the sun, the moon, and the stars. They need only at night to look up into the sky to experience those things. And it's like everyone can do that. That means like that we're all able to connect in that kind of way. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's like don't forget that that is also true for you, even if you're stepping into a place of like more independence and more being unto oneself. Yeah. So the next cards here, this is going to show me any kind of like themes that you have, any kind of communication from like source or spirit or the universe or God, whatever it is that you call the source outside of yourself that we're all connected to. And this is just kind of everything you need to see, feel, know, perceive for the month of July. So you have scrying, mirror, shadow, beautiful. And you have chalice, fulfillment. Sweet, 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 sweet. I actually really love how these cards are kind of mirroring the cards that are right above them, like the elephant spirit, learning from the past, is, you know, underneath, on top of the scrying shadow card, scrying mirror shadow card, and then nightingale spirit, love is all around, is on top of this chalice and fulfillment. This is telling me like there is so much for you to be able to pull from in the month of July, where you're not going to feel parched. You know what I mean? It's not going to feel like just because things are like decaying and maybe like crumbling and structures are crumbling or relationships are crumbling or whatever, things that just you've outgrown, or you that no longer are necessary for you along this journey of you like coming into your own. And it's there again, it's just a reminder that there's a chance for you to recognize everything that you've done thus far, all the steps that you've taken thus far, and how now you get to choose what really nourishes you, and you get to choose what really fills your spirit and fills you up into like this like star powered, fueled up light being. You know what I mean? Like the illumination of both the moon and the sun. And I love this like shadow scrying card here, because it's a reminder that like, you know, the moon and the sun need to be united together in order for you to kind of step out into a place of feeling like whole within yourself, that you're able to make like decisive decisions, and you're able to like discern what is and isn't good for you, and all these things that come along with um, being unto your own and stepping into your power. And I'm like now seeing like this shadow figure back here, and these are people that are like kind of following the light. You know what I mean? And these shadows are of the sphere. It's kind of reminding me of like the sphere of the moon. The moon is like this kind of elusive entity. It's very mysterious. I'm hearing like dark side of the moon, and like it like takes its light, I believe, from the sun somehow. Like it's illuminated because of the sun. And so it's also telling you that not to forget that you still have to uncover certain things in order to find out that they're not for you any longer. You know what I mean? Like under the light of the stars, under the light of the moon, things need to be revealed for you in order for you to leave them behind and start fresh and start new, and start on your journey. And that again goes back to learning from your past. These are things that are going to be coming up from within you that maybe you've been neglecting, or maybe you haven't given much weight or stock to, and they're really going to be coming up to you in order for you to see what they're trying to show you, and in turn it will allow you to know and wonder and feel like, is it for you or is it not for you? And you can make those decisions from a place of like not lacking in any way, but from knowing what the options have been so far, knowing what has been in store for you this far, and moving out of that. You know what I mean? For some reason, I'm hearing again with the jumping the gun. It's almost like saying like, don't push too far ahead without the I feel like without the contemplative piece, without this piece here, right here, the elephant spirit, learning from the past, and scrying mirror shadow. You know what I mean? Because you want to fill this with like some good honey mead. You know what I mean? You don't want to fill it with like a cookie mudslide or something. I'm like seeing like those in Halloween where they make the mudslide or something, like in like a graveyard thing. Yeah, I don't know. It's like, I don't feel like you want that in your cup for drinking. Like you want something that's like smooth. You know what I mean? You don't want chunky stuff in your cup. That's for sure. And chunky stuff comes from not paying attention to what's coming up from the depths or from the sphere of the moon. So anyhow, moving on. So this is going to be what you're embracing and taking with you for the month of July. And you have the Magician. You have the Son of Wands. It's also the Page of Wands. And you have the Ace of Pentacles. Cool. So what this is showing me, let me just move these cards over. Okay, so what this is showing me is like you definitely have some goals that you should be paying attention to and focusing on for the month. And this is kind of reminding me back to like the I am responsible, and like being adamant about what's happening in your life, and having this like respect, building up this respect. So I'm feeling like this month is definitely a time for you to embrace like different ideas and different modes of behavior and ways that you can think about like strategizing, like using like the tools in your arsenal, the Magician, using the tools that you need in order to create something. You know what I mean? It's like that explosion forward. It's like, it's almost like, okay, you are setting the intention or setting the tone with the Magician card here. It almost feels like you're deciding what it is that you want to do, whatever it is that you actually want to move towards. And then you use this energy, this like youthful, propelling, like full of life energy found in the Page of Wands. It's like using the fullness of your spirit to propel this like wand forward, and these materials forward to hit the mark. You know what I mean? And this is hitting the mark in a way that is of the tangible world, of the physical world. So whether that's hitting a mark in your finances, or whether it's like hitting the mark in your physical goals, it's all about not being wasteful of kind of the resources that you have right now, because it's going to allow you to really give it the juice. Like, I'm feeling like this month you'll have the juice to hit the bullseye and to get the things that you want in a very big and realistic way. You know what I mean? Like, no more just thinking about it, no more just it being part of the stars. You know, instead you're taking the ingredients of like the star and the moon and the sun, and you're mixing it all up, and it's propelling you forward. So it's a real focus on action. Feels like action, and that's how you solidify your gains. You know what I mean? By taking the action that you do when one steps forward, or when one steps into a place of power. And you know, being in a place of power is like owning your existence and owning the fact that you are the creator. You know what I mean? That you can create your next steps in the world that you like see fit, in the world that you want to see fit. You know, and coming from like what has been so far and what has been thus far. You know what I mean? There's this need of like, I feel like all heart. I'm hearing like all heart, like go, like really put your all into it. You know what I mean? Like, if you do that, you can't, you know, you can fail. I'm not saying you can't fail, but you can't. Like, it's like you really can't fail, man, if you freaking put your all into it, and you use like the resources that you have and that are around you in order to create what you want. Honestly, and that's what you should be focused on: creating what you want, filling your freaking cup. You know what I mean? Like, letting this cup like overflow and give you it's almost like juicing out this mirror, you know, juicing out the shadows and squeezing, learning from your past, and like squeezing that juice, and mixing it all, letting it get fired up with like serious energy of like, yes, propelling forward. I want to get this done, and then watch it get done. Yeah. So yeah. Anyway, um, this is what's falling away and what you should leave behind for the month of July. And we have Nine of Wands. We have the Death card and the Hermit card. Okay, nice. Nice. Love it. Okay, what you should be leaving behind and letting fall away is like things having to be difficult. Okay, you don't have to focus on the difficulty of letting things go. You need only to focus on the baby steps forward, the new steps forward. You don't have to have this like you know what I mean? When I'm saying to go into the shadows and like see what's coming up, that doesn't mean like you're deep in like this stage of like, oh, I have to go through every single thing that's happened thus far and see how this has affected me and see how I have to shape it. Like, you don't need to pick apart and analyze everything that is changing. You know what I mean? It's just allowing the change to happen. You're learning from the past. You're just seeing the things, and by seeing them, you're also moving past them if you decide to. If you see it and you decide to move past it, that's great. But it's like not focusing on the difficulty of being at a united front. You know what I mean? Like, oh, I have to make sure like everything is already good and done so far in order for me to step into my power, in order for me to take the next moves forward. Like, don't get stuck on the I need more work, I need more work, I need more work. It's learning. You're just you're witnessing as you're stepping into this place that maybe isn't familiar for you anymore. But with the Hermit card, yeah, the need of like reflections, like deep reflections, and their perseverance to get through, something that's difficult, like, something that's no longer serving or whatever, all that like in the jungle alone and contemplating life, like that is not for you this month. That is what you should definitely be letting go of, because you're embracing, remember, like going towards tangible goals. Okay. So lastly, my loves, this is going to be the unforeseen and unexpected for July 2022. Let's see. Nice. Yang energy. Number one, baby. Number one. On your marks, get set, go. You win the race. Holla. You're a fucking star. You're a star. You shine as bright as the sun. Anyway, unexpected and unforeseen. So again, maybe it's been like this like, I could even like say like this is like yin energy, you know what I mean? Feeling like the depths and the unknown and everything that's been like percolating and changing your psyche, and all these like things that are starting and stopping, or ending and beginning. Like the focus is on like action, assertiveness, the unexpected, unforeseen. Maybe this is gonna feel like a reignition for you, like a rejuvenation for you. Like maybe you haven't been feeling like you have been, going towards your goals or meeting your goals, and now it's gonna feel like you have a lot of energy to get things done this month, and like take advantage of that. It's like really beautiful, and you know what I mean? Like things don't have to be difficult. You just have to decide to keep moving forward, and like this energy, like you'll be propelled forward. You know what I mean? This like wands energy, this fire. You will be propelled forward, and you'll hit the mark. You know what I mean? So it's just like continuing to move, and not necessarily taking time to like, okay, now I gotta like contemplate this and whatever. No, this is not you chilling. This is you like keep going towards the things you want. Know that love is all around. Know that there's fulfillment waiting for you, and all you need is this like action taking, So anyway, that is your reading, pile one. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments, and yeah, I'll see you next time. Until then, bye. Okay, hello pile two. Welcome to your monthly reading. I'm gonna spread the cards out here in the positions that I like them in, and then we will get started on your reading for this month, July 2022. Let's see. Okay, so right off the bat, let's start off with some charms here. This is going to be the focuses and themes for the month of July 2022. And we have a little boo ghost here. We have an angel. We have a house. And we have like a hat, or like a fireman's hat. So definitely kind of themes and focuses for the month so far, like with the ghost and the angel. Like I'm seeing like maybe you being in touch with like God in some way, or like angels or spirits or whatever, like, and the ways that you communicate to the source outside of yourself, like whether it's the universe or spirit, whatever. Like there's this like theme of you being surrounded by spirits, or communing with spirits, or maybe learning more about them, being more curious about them and how they operate in your life. It could be like talking to like ancestors or spirit allies, like whatever the case is. There's like this they this wanted to be known in a big way, like to have both of these here. I feel like that's very important and obvious. And I'm seeing maybe with the home, like caring about your home, caring about what's coming into your home. Maybe there's like, I mean, not to scare anybody, but maybe there's like spirits in your home. I don't know, like coming into your like your domain, so to speak. It's like coming into your vision and into your line of like vision almost, with the home here, and with this hat. And I don't know why it's reminding me of like a fire hat. With the hat, I'm wondering if like more more thinking needs to is maybe going to be a theme for you, or like a thinking cap. But I'm also kind of seeing like needing to like take the cap off, like take the cap off. So maybe it's like you've been like I said, you've been curious about the other side, and maybe it's time for you to like take the hat off and like kind of open up your house, so to speak, like your temple, your body, so to speak, in order to allow these beings and like energies to communicate with you and to be I don't know, on this journey with you for July. So we'll see if that has any more like significance as I move on. And this is going into your journey. Nice. So this is your journey for July. It says answering the call, the time is now. So yeah, maybe you've been, I feel like this pile, like you've been getting communications, and maybe you've been wondering like, is it all in your head, or are you making things up? And maybe you're coming from a place that you don't believe in this kind of stuff, or maybe you're coming from a place where you do believe it. And now this is like a synchronistic confirmation for you that like, yeah, what you've been hearing and what's been being spoken to you through the ethers is actually of importance, and important messages that were being sent to you in order for you to be able to answer the call. And that's what's happening for you in July. It's saying the time is now. So I wanted to just say some of the words that I had written down for pile 2. This is just some of the words that I had heard when I was reflecting on the piles earlier when I pulled them. And I have freedom, and it says despite exhaustion. It says relief. There's this please, and it was like an asking, like please with a question mark. There's this it ain't gonna fly. Then I have killer abs. Don't know what that's about. And main goal respite. Well, I mean, I could guess what that's about. So kind of the killer abs is kind of reminding me of like how I was saying like this house, and like the house could literally be your house, like your physical body. So it's maybe like gearing up, strengthening up to answer the call, or so to speak, and like to have this like freedom despite the exhaustion. But there's this please, like there's this ask. You're asking please. And I'm wondering if you've been praying, or if you've been asking for miracles, for things to happen in your life, for things to change. And maybe you've been receiving messages. And it's saying answer the call, right? Like I'm definitely seeing like this taking off your cap and kind of allowing like your crown to be exposed. That's where like the 7th chakra exists, which is connected to the universal source and light and God, the universe, whatever you want to call it. You know what I mean? So yeah, okay, so that's that. But anyway, here is the animal allies that are going to assist you for July along the way. And you have, oh my God, sorry. Eagle spirit has your back. Yo, what was I just saying? And it says it's time to collaborate. Whoa, look at this. Time is now. Time to collaborate. I was talking about spirit. Spirit has your back. Eagle spirit, ant spirit, 2 different animals or spirits, One is a, like tiny, but can hold so much of its weight, and the other one is like the king of the sky, so to speak. So yeah, this is like hats off, like dead up for sure. Like you're answering a call in a really big way, and I think it's like shaping the structure in which you whether it's the structure of your body or like literally like the structure that surrounds you. Like I'm seeing this house, like maybe you're building your house, you're building your temple, you know what I mean? And it's kind of telling you like, yeah, you're definitely in a mode of like receiving the help that you need from a source outside of yourself that you can't like literally touch or feel or like or tangibly like hold in your hands. It's like these energies, and like, you know, if you call it God, whatever it is that you call it, it has your back. Spirit has your back. And time to collaborate. It's kind of telling me like it's time to use whatever has been coming to you, whether it's like downloads or information. Like maybe there's a need for you to share what you've been receiving or the messages that you've been given, and maybe it needs to be shared in a much larger network. Like I'm seeing like the ant spirit is like this network of ants that work together and they get things done. And so maybe it's time for you to get out there and get things done in a collaborative way with other human beings, you know, which are your ants, so to speak. And this like eagle spirit of like being above, you know, being at a higher source, or like using a higher source, or, you know, the sky, like sky's the limit. There's no limits, but sorry. Sky's the limit, there's no limits. Yeah, there's no limits. Like you're stepping into like your like a deeper wisdom, you know what I mean? Like that's that psychic intuitive power that seems to be relevant for this pile. So anywho, those are your allies for the month. You could call upon those animals, or you could, you know, if you see them, they might mean messages for you to, you know, kind of be aware of your surroundings when you see them, or when you think of them, or when you reflect back on their medicine. So this is going to be some communication from your spirit, from the universe, from God, from whatever you literally, oh my God, it says Lord God, from whatever it is that you call when you connect to that universal source power, whatever you call it. So this is going to be like any kind of things that you need to know, see, hear, feel, experience for the month of July. It says Lord God masculine, and it says spell manifestation. Yeah. In a big way, it's like saying, yo, God is knocking at your door, and oh shit. God is knocking at your door. Are you answering the call? Because there's a journey waiting for you outside of that, and it's a fruitful one. You know what I mean? Wherever it's taking you, like, don't worry about what's behind you, man. Spirit has your back. Like, don't worry about feeling like too small to take on the world, or to take on this like unknown journey. Like the ant spirit, as small as it is, it still holds its weight, and more some, and more some. You know what I mean? Definitely this month is feeling like a time for you to like whatever it is that you are receiving, to actually do stuff with them. Spells are manifestations, right? You speak a spell, even just words, and setting like an intention with a spell, you speak that out, and it kind of, you know, ripples into the world, and like kind of manifests into the world. And it's like it's almost like you speak the thing, and the eagle takes it on its back and lets it soar into like a higher plane. And that's that like crown, like I was saying, that seventh chakra of like trusting the universe to take those plans and kind of move them forward, and move these collaborations forward, and how, and whatever ways they show up for you in your life. This masculine Lord God energy is kind of telling me that like definitely take action. It's a month to take action. This masculine force is like also known as like assertive force, or productive force, or force that moves forward. You know, it's an active energy. It's a propelling kind of energy, where like, you know, the other aspect, the other of it is like yin, you know, receptive and everything. And that's not, you've been receiving, you know what I mean? You are receiving, you are the receptor. I don't know if that's a word. You are the one that is receiving, you know what I mean? And now it's for you to take what it is that you're receiving and put those things into action. You're answering the call. You're not just um, waiting at the door anymore. You open the door. You're like, you've opened the door. You know what I mean? So, anyway, this is going to be what you should focus. I know this is what you are embracing and taking with you for July. You have Justice. You have the Ten of Wands. And you have the Nine of Swords. Now, it's hilarious because when I pull these, when I was thinking about pulling these cards, I literally knew one of the piles or two of the piles or whatever. Some of the piles were going to definitely have this Nine of Swords in it and this Ten of Wands, okay? And I was like, well, somebody's going to get it. I already know it. And literally, pile two, you have it, and you have both of them. So that's okay. That's okay. These look nightmarish. These look harrowing, but that's okay. I love the black and white theme here. And I mean, these cards are typically black and white anyway. There's not much color in this tarot deck. This is black and white, but I'm feeling like black and white. Like, again, I was literally talking about the yin and yang, and I'm seeing like the yin and yang sign, that like circle with the white swirl and the black swirl, and the black swirl has a white dot and the white swirl has a black dot. But it's like this cyclical thing that you're experiencing right now. Like, you're literally receiving from the black circle, which is like this unknown, which is like the yin energy. Like, you're receiving the answers from spirit, and then you're coming out of it, you know, with the light energy, like I'm seeing the light as this masculine, like fire. So it's like going from the receiving into the action, and this continuous like loop. So embracing, I think, this sense of like balance when it comes to what I was just saying, like receiving and then the action, receiving and then the action, right? Like, spirit has your back, that's the receiving. Time to collaborate, that's the action. You know, it's really beautiful. And it's this, you're embracing the difficulties, you know, the difficulties that you have kind of laid out ahead of you. Because if you're taking this kind of journey where you're really like being of service, you know, answering the call and being of service in a really big way, in receiving you know, this kind of information that, you know, not many people are open to or aware of, you know, you're going to experience moments of hesitation and moments of anguish as to like, oh, you're just stuck in the woods, or you're in the thick of it, and you don't know what's what, and like, you know, you're trying to see beyond almost like the images that might cause like some apprehension or fear in your being. Like, you know what I mean? Like, maybe this is something new that's coming to you that you've been receiving, and you know, it's very unfamiliar, and it might feel maybe unsafe or just, you know, weird and freaky, but it's telling you to embrace what's coming, and make sure that you're taking this like balanced approach of what I was saying with the yin energy of the receiving, and then the outward use of that energy that you're receiving. And it's embracing the unknown in a really big way, embracing the unknown, embracing the things that you can't see. Like, this Nine of Swords is really like a mental nightmare kind of card, and you know, the original Rider-Waite tarot deck shows this card as like a woman or a man sitting up in bed at night with the 9 swords on the wall, and their hands are like, their head is like kind of low hanging in their hands, and they're kind of in like a, you know, dark night of the soul maybe kind of feeling, or just like up at night at like the witching hours, they call it, like 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, you know, up in the middle of the night when like other people are not really around, but like where maybe the spirits are lingering. You know what I'm saying? Like the energies are lingering, and it could feel very like daunting to experience that on your own and kind of feel that and be like feeling like you're, you know, burdened by the responsibility of receiving such powerful like downloads and such powerful um knowledge, you know. But embrace that, embrace it. It's there for a reason, and it's there for a good reason. Okay, so this is going to be what you're leaving behind and what's falling away for the month of July. So you have the Knight of Swords, you have the Ten of Wands, which is on top of the Ten of Wands, hilarious, and then the Hierophant. So, okay, nice. So there's this embracing here, right, of the thick of it, right? And just embracing the thick of it. And the Ten of Wands is right on top of the other Ten of Wands and saying you need to leave behind this Ten of Wands energy. So what I'm sensing with this spread here is the need for you to yeah, there's this really need for you to kind of like let go of making sense of what all of this is and what all of this is happening for you, or whatever this is that is happening for you. Like, you don't need to like kind of push ahead like this Knight of Swords. Yeah, actually, I want to just check something real quick because every time I talk about this freaking Knight of Swords, I'm like, is this the freaking king in this freaking deck, or is it literally not the king and it's the Knight of Swords? It is on a steed, but this is based on the Hermetic. This is the Hermetic Tarot, so sometimes the words are switched out, and honestly, I want to just know what the hell I'm saying before I say it, because I've done this before and then I realized I was saying the wrong thing and I wasn't about to take it back. Okay, it is the Knight. Okay, sweet. Yay, that solves it. So yeah, there's this need to let go of the gathering ideas, so to speak, to make sense of them. So like I said, you're receiving messages. You know what I'm saying? You're receiving. You're in this like receiving mode of getting these answers seemingly out of nowhere. And it's not for you to do anything, like take the action to do anything with those messages where you like, you know, learn what it is and take the responsibility of showing people what you're learning, you know what I mean? And so that they understand too. Yeah, it's like, it ain't gonna fly. Like, it ain't gonna fly. You don't need to be weighed down, so to speak, with what you're receiving. It's just for you to take action. You know what I mean? You don't have to be responsible for what's coming out or what's being said. Like, obviously, you're going to be living or wanting to be in integrity with what it is that you're receiving and using in collaboration. But you don't have to feel like you have to take on the heavy burden of teaching others something that they don't know, or teaching others these ideas that are like so flowing towards you and moving towards you almost like at lightning speed. It's just kind of embracing what's coming and using it. You don't have to teach about it. You don't have to be like held down by it. You know what I mean? You're embracing the being in the thick of it, like the unknown. You're not pushing forward and creating like plans for how people can do what you're doing, or how people can get on your level. Like, no, the collaboration is mutual, right? Collaborating is mutual. You don't have to hold everything. You can hold, there's plenty of you to hold. There's plenty for you to hold, but you don't have to hold everything in the sense where you have to like teach people. It's a flow. It's a flow here. You want it balanced. You're receiving and sharing, and in whatever way aspects that is. You don't have to teach anybody. You know what I mean? Yeah. Okay, that's what I'm getting from that. And this is going to be the unexpected and unforeseen for the month for you. Ooh, it says a leg up. Yeah, a leg up. Yeah, unexpected and unforeseen. So, a leg up, that means kind of finding maybe some success with everything that is being shaped for you in the month of July. A leg up is like being helped in some way. That's where that time for collaboration is coming in. And yeah, you don't have to be in the teacher mode where you're the one giving people a leg up. It's the opposite for you this month. You're going to be receiving. You know what I mean? You're the one that receives and and then does something with it. With other people, with communities in the world, and then you receive the leg up. You receive the rewards. Okay? All right, so I hope that makes sense. I'm going to end your pile right there. Please leave me a comment if this resonated with you. And until next time, my pile 2, I will see you then. Okay? Bye. Okay, hello, pile 3. If you've chosen pile 3, this is going to be your monthly reading. I have the cards here in order. I'm just going to put the charms and the cards how I want them so I could get into your reading. 1, 2, 3. Okay, let's do it. So I'm going to start with your charms. This is going to be any focuses or themes that you have coming for you for the month of July 2022. And you have a cell phone. You have a cell phone, you have a bird, you have a chihuahua, and you have a bra. So first thing I'm seeing is like getting things off of your chest is going to be a theme for you for July. Speaking up in big ways. Honoring your voice. There's a lot here to do with like communication and speaking up and maybe telling your truths to people, letting people know how you feel, letting people know things that have been bothering you. Basically, it's clearing your chest. Like there's this bra here and it's feeling like vulnerable, like, you know, almost like a naked chest, and like just letting things that need to be said or spoken or heard to be done so. And so you're making the calls, you're communicating with people, and it's like I'm seeing with the chihuahua like a big bark, you know, like for such a little dog, it has such as like this big bark. So it's really saying like speak up in a big way and just allow your voice to kind of carry. Like I'm seeing the bird is like a sing-song voice, and like, you know how birds sing and they, you know, they chirp and that's how they communicate. It's like saying, yeah, let your big voice kind of just boom through you this month and just say the things. I'm feeling like say the things, let the things take flight, let it be said despite how anybody else feels about it, and really it's just how you're gonna feel about it. So that's pretty straightforward. I like that for the themes and focuses for the month. Ooh, okay, so that's so cool. So before I'm gonna just throw that in here now. Before I did the readings, I just reflected on the piles. I just listened to kind of like words and things that came into my mind for each pile. And for you, pile 3, I have the words here of what does it really all mean? There's a real world view. I hear searing the flesh. Could use a good cry. Okay, I accept. And your main goal is to sing. So the fact that the main goal is to like sing, and we've got like the bird, it's singing, it's singing. The freaking chihuahua, it's freaking singing its little growling, barking voice, and like all this talk about like getting things off of your chest or whatever, the searing the flesh. Um, yeah, the searing the flesh, I'm almost feeling like let it burn, baby. Just say the things and like let yourself burn. Like let yourself be embarrassed by the things you say, or just let other people be embarrassed by the things you say. Like, maybe your words are gonna kind of sear the flesh off of people, and there's just things that you want to say and you're not willing to accept anything less than what it is that you want to say. You know what I mean? Like, you're like, okay, I accept that I have to do the things and maybe say difficult things to people that you care about or maybe you don't care about. Either way, there's this need, like the real world view. I'm seeing that real world view for you. You're like, yeah, you're like, I'm ready to really communicate what is and what isn't, and you've accepted that because it's like you want to know what does it all mean, whether that's like a much bigger structure that you're wanting to know, or if it's in your intimate relationships, or minor things you really want to know, what does it all really mean. So this is going to be your journey for the month. It says miracles, expect the wondrous to emerge. So I feel like maybe you've been hesitant to say things, or maybe you feel like you couldn't speak up before, or maybe like you feel like your voice was muted, like like you had this big voice in the chihuahua body and you kind of felt like muted, or maybe like the communication hasn't been there for you with you and the people that are most important to you. But it's almost saying like the journey for July is going to be kind of like amazing for you if you decide to really sink into what I'm saying about saying the things and speaking up. It's gonna really kind of open up different possibilities for you, and maybe all it takes is for you to say something to somebody that you've been wanting to say, get off your chest, and you realize like they're much more willing to listen to what you're saying and receive what you're saying, and it actually works out to your benefit, and maybe it works out to something even better than you expected. And that's that miracle, you know what I mean? Like it ends up being something then far better than you imagined. And July feels like that's what it holds for you, for sure. So moving on to your allies, spirit animal allies for the month. And it says vulture spirit, nothing is wasted. And then we have the grasshopper spirit. It says take a leap of faith. So very, very beautiful. Like I feel like, again, nothing that you can say or communicate or do, in a sense of like clearing the air with people or with things or whatever it is, it's nothing is wasted. You know what I mean? Like the vulture spirit like eats carcasses, dead carcasses and everything, and it uses all the resources it needs to sustain itself, and it wastes nothing. And so I'm seeing like nothing that you do this month, if you hear yourself saying like, oh, it's just a waste of time, or like, okay, I just accept what it is or whatever. Like, no, it's telling you that nothing that you can say or communicate is wasted, and nothing that you decide to do in July will be a wasted point or moment in your journey, though, thus far. And it's like, have some faith, like actually believe that like amazing things and good things and like opportunities and unlimited potentials can like come your way when you decide to use your voice authentically, and when you decide to step into your power and expression, and really kind of letting people know and the world know like what your real view is, and what you really want to say, and what really resonates true for you. You know what I mean? Like have some faith in yourself, and that allows you to then be open to like the generosity that can exist for you. So these next cards are going to be messages from the universe or source, God, whatever it is that your spirit allies, whatever it is that you call, this energy and source. of the all that is with, outside of you. Well, it's within you, but just saying, the source, the light, whatever. So you have air, imagination, beautiful, and water, cleansing. Yeah, yeah. Definitely vibing with the rest of the cards here. The air has to do with the quality of the wind and of speaking, and like, right, your voices carry on the wind, and movement, like words being spoken, like how, like, I'm feeling like on a cell phone, like we talk to a cell phone and people hear it on the other side, and it's just like, where's the connection? It's like we're connected through this like ether almost. And so it's saying like, with not only be aware and very present about what is you're saying and just really saying it, but also this imagination is like showing me like this miracle that you can, like, I love the air here, this like blowing father wind, whatever you want to call it. And I love the air kind of simmering and floating out of the wishing lamp, whatever, the genie lamp that this guy's got in his hands. And it's kind of wanting you to explore maybe different ways of thinking and different modes of thinking that you've been used to so far, and maybe the language that you use for yourself, or the language you use for others, or the language you use just to compare and perceive the world and the world around you and how it affects you and things like that. Because again, it's leaving you open. If you like leave yourself open to the wind carries seeds. Seeds are on faith, roaming around, hoping that they make something of themselves. Like, right? If a seed gets planted and it's taken by the wind to like some soil, that's a fucking miracle, But definitely with all of this, like almost like purging, I'm seeing like getting things off your chest with like almost like all of this purging. Definitely focus on clearing your energy in a big way. Like all of this that's coming out needs also to be cleared. You know what I mean? You need to get yourself either into water, or like be intentional with your showers, or take baths, whatever it is. Like just be intentional when you're drinking water, anything that has to do with you touching or being connected to water in some way. Like make the intention, maybe on a daily basis or whenever you remember to, that like as you're clearing, you're also allowing like a healing clearing to come through you. You know what I mean? You don't want to like leave yourself like blown open and then feeling like, parched on top of that too. You know what I mean? You don't want to be like a dried like desert air heat type thing going on, where it like sucks your nutrients out. You know what I mean? You don't want to parch your throat with like all of this stuff that's happening or being communicated. You don't want to leave yourself parched, so to speak. So, kind of allow yourself to find a way to soothe yourself. You know what I mean? As all this is coming up. Ooh, and I have right here, I wrote, could use a good cry. Yeah, this could mean like crying, like that's water, like allowing it to flow, like allowing the tears to come out. Maybe all of this is, it's shaking you up a little bit, making you tremble a little bit, all this like emphasis on the voice. So a good cry is always useful. It allows you kind of to release and like reset and like dispel any maybe anxiety building up, on you as you continue to like really like speak up it authentically and just, share and express yourself authentically. But anywho, moving on to what you're embracing and taking with you for the month of July. You have the Father of Cups, you have the Five of Wands, and you have the Nine of Pentacles. Okay, sweet. So Father of Cups, this is like the King of Cups in the tarot. And what this is telling me is like exactly what I was saying. It's like I love that it comes right after like the water and the cleansing. So it's like really being, I feel like being juiced up with um, emotions and things like that. It's almost, yeah. Now I'm feeling like I'm seeing like this ship for some reason. Like this is the ship, or this is your like body is like this vessel, and like it needs the air, like it has air at its sails or whatever, and it needs the air to propel it forward on the water. You know what I mean? And so it's like embracing your own emotional well-being for this month, and like embracing the rewards, right? I'm going into this like Nine of Pentacles already, like the rewards that exist for you once you start clearing all of this kind of stuck energy, or like I said, things that need to be said, and you open yourself up to imagining and wondering of like, what else could your life look like? You know what I mean? Now that you've let this like weight kind of come off your chest, what else can fulfill you in a very deep and like nourishing way that feels good for like your spirit and soul. There's also this need for you to embrace like a lack of direction. You know what I mean? Like the air, like the quality of air and like thoughts and communication, like they just go. They don't, there's no like, there are specific places they go, but like you can't stop air from like filling up a room, so to speak. So it's saying like, don't be, embrace like the unknown, as far as like not knowing where this is all headed. You know what I mean? It's just embracing that, the journey anyway, and knowing that you'll end up in a prosperous place. You know what I mean? There's like feathers on this. I'm seeing like the feathers here, and the vulture spirit of like nothing wasted. And I mean, this is like a feathery creature too, but yeah, nothing is wasted. The things that are coming up, that will be coming up, they're coming up because you care about them. They're coming up because these are things that are important for you, and you find them important. You know what I mean? That's why you're able to speak on them, because that's what exists within your being, um, and that's what you're leaning into. Discovering like the jewels, almost, so to speak, discovering the treasures that have been buried deep within you, and embracing just letting that out, and allowing yourself to just have faith that like wherever you're headed in a direction where like I feel like more like opportunities exist for you. You know what I mean? Like maybe again, it's like feeling like, I don't know, I feel like you could have been feeling like you'll never get to a more like stable and secure place, but now you're realizing the more you say, the better it is. Okay, so this is what you're leaving behind and what is falling away. Oh my god, this happened twice now. This literally happened twice before. In the second pile this happened, but you have literally the Nine of Pentacles on top of the Nine of Pentacles, and before I had Ten of Wands on top of the Ten of Wands. But anyway, this is what you're letting go, and what's leaving behind. You have the Nine of Cups, the Knight of Wands, and the Nine of Pentacles. So to me, it feels like, let me see, give me one moment. I think you're leaving behind like this pursuit of the things that used to make you, that used to satisfy you and used to make you happy. You know what I mean? Maybe your life so far hasn't really been full of like that much like turmoil, up until now, and maybe you've kind of been feeling satisfied in your life, and like you've been in a good place, you know, and you've kind of just been moving ahead in your life and feeling like, you know, things are actually pretty good and things haven't been that bad. But there's like this need for you to like change the status quo. Like, even though it hasn't been that bad, or it's been pretty good, like the 9 is almost a 10, you know, it's almost a 10 of cups. The 9 of pentacles is almost the 10 of pentacles. Like, it's, your life has been like almost really delicious so far. But like, there is just a little bit more on the other side, for you, and that's where it wants you to, regardless of where you're going, to trust that there's more bounty ahead of you. You know what I mean? Like, there's more miracles, and opportunities and things coming your way than you can have imagined, and it's just a matter of you saying what you gotta say. You know, asking yourself, really, what does it all mean, and how can I actually add to what has already existed for me so far, like this successful life so far, this like feelings of, you know, being content, and very like maybe physically secure or stable in your life, and emotionally fulfilled and secure in your life. But it's kind of embracing like the much deeper fires that are burning, like that are, yeah, again, like I was saying with the searing the flesh, there's like a much deeper burning desire or feelings or things that need to come out of you. So yeah, so then this is going to be what is the unexpected and unforeseen for the month of July. So here we go. Why? Of course. So exactly what I was saying. What does it all mean? It's this time of questioning, and you're really starting to kind of fall into that communication, and, you know, wanting to understand it all. Another word that I had written down here that I didn't say was the existential, which is kind of hilarious that I'm using existential. But yeah, it's like that freaking question. Why does anything happen? Why does anything exist? Why this, why that? You're gonna find yourself being asking yourself that question many times over in July. So I'm curious what those answers bring once you start, you know, being curious and expecting, you know, these things to kind of take shape and form, for you in the month. So anyway, that is your reading, pile 3. I hope you enjoyed it. Please let me know in the comments if you enjoyed it or not. Either way, hope you have a great day until I see you again. All right, bye. Okay, hello, pile 4. This is going to be your reading for July 2022. I'm going to go ahead and spread the cards out, and we will go through them to see what your month is going to be like. There we go, there we go. Now we'll start with the charms. It's going to be any themes and focuses for you for the month of July 2022. We have an airplane, we have a typewriter, we have a cake with some wedding, like a wedding couple on it, a groom and a bride, and we have a half of a truck. Let me see if I can show you the half truck. Yeah, half a truck, the front end. Front end, okay, front end, nosedive. Nosedive, nose to the grind. Okay, so front end, nosedive, nose to the grind. Nosedive. Maybe this is like taking a plunge. This is like taking a deep kind of plunge into something serious. You know what I mean? Something that needs to take flight. Maybe it's an idea that you've been holding out on, or uh, something that needs to be written, or something that you've been working on that kind of really needs to get be completed in some way. I'm kind of feeling like a completion from the cake. After a couple takes their vow, they've completed their ceremony and they eat cake. So it's like maybe a focus on kind of gearing yourself up, despite maybe not feeling prepared. So it's like maybe a sense of feeling unprepared, but something definitely needs to take flight. I'm feeling writing things down, working on projects, whatever it is. That's definitely a theme and focus for you for July. I'm going to see if anything else comes up for that once I start moving through the reading. But so, sorry, I was just thinking of like giggles for some reason, and then I read what I wrote here. So for the piles before, when I had just pulled them, I kind of just reflected over them, and I kind of heard words and whatever came out. And the words that for this pile for that came out is, what a delight, hearing giggles. It's all microscopic, iridescent bubbles, and the main goal was enjoyment. So one of the things that I'm now hearing is like having your cake and eating it too. And it's like enjoying the ride, despite whether the ride is like wonky or like messed up, or you literally don't have like, you have like half a truck, so it's like you have half the supplies or something, and maybe like the plane that you have isn't fueled up properly, or the typewriter doesn't have all the letters on it, but it's almost like saying like enjoy yourself too along this journey. Like it doesn't have to be so serious. You know what I mean? Maybe you've been like, I don't know, I'm feeling like a project or something, working on something, and you're kind of like so serious about getting it done. It's like, dude, it's gonna get done, man. Enjoy yourself. Eat some cake. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Enjoy the flight. Yeah, enjoy the flight. Yeah. Okay, cool. Anyway, this is the journey. Sweet. This is the journey that you'll be on for July 2022. Faraway places, get ready for new horizons. Yeah, hello. Planes taking flight. Like, okay, maybe you didn't pack your bag all the way that you wanted to be packed. You know what I mean? Maybe you didn't dot your T's and cross your I's. Okay? Maybe you didn't gas up the way you had to. But July is just asking you to like embrace a journey, embrace going and headed towards new experiences, new places, whether this is like real travel, like for real travel and moving forward. Either way, it's just saying like enjoy yourself, kind of enjoy the ride, and get ready to move into maybe new spheres, or like places that you've been curious about, and now you're heading there, and it's like a kind of a new adventure and a new horizon. Either way, it's like faraway places, so it's like telling me it's like whatever you're not used to, so not in your like immediate environment, whatever your immediate environment means to you, whether that's literally your home, your town, the town around you, the state, the whatever it is. Like get ready to move to much farther places than you've been used to so far. You know what I mean? So the allies that you have, the spirit animal allies that you have for the month here, you have the cow spirit. It says the miracles are endless. And you have the armadillo spirit. It says set healthy boundaries. So I love that the miracles are endless with the cow spirit and the faraway places. So that's where that enjoyment is coming from. That's where that having a good time, eating your cake too, almost like celebrating life, like the cake, right? You're celebrating a joyous occasion, which is you getting to have more experiences and maybe have more fun, and like maybe travel, hit different destinations. But it's bringing me back to what I wrote here. It's all microscopic. And that's that armadillo spirit. I'm like, see these little crevices, like on the armadillo spirit, it has those little, like, whatever, crevices on it. And I'm seeing with the set healthy boundaries, like, even though it's this being open and like just enjoying the ride, like also make sure maybe that um along the way you're not losing parts of yourself, like maybe you're not losing your luggage, and losing pieces that you wish you still had, like clothing or toiletries, whatever. Setting healthy boundaries along the way is like, yeah, you're expanding and kind of opening up to having new things coming into your life. And so it's also saying like have a healthy dose of like protection on your like soft, delicate, giggling, delightful self. You know what I mean? The one that's like, oh my God, miracles are endless. Like, oh my God, is this really happening? Like, are these things really coming true? It's like, I wasn't even really prepared for them, but they're happening anyway. And, that leaves you kind of soft and vulnerable and like childlike. Like if you're embracing miracles, you're embracing that like childlike wonder. And it's also saying like, kind of make sure just a little bit that you're being responsible in all of it. Like it's such a playful energy that you don't want to like you don't want to find yourself without the back half of your car or whatever, without the back half of yourself, or putting yourself in unsavory positions or moments and things like that. Okay, so this is going to be communication from spirit or the source or universe or God, whatever it is that the source you seek outside of yourself for reflecting and, divination or whatever. This is communication you need to know, see, feel, understand for July. And we have Book of Shadows, Secret, and Watchtower of the North, Winter. Nice, nice. Okay, so I'm almost seeing like people asking you like, how the hell are you doing all of these things? Because it might seem like to other people like, how the fuck is this person doing all these things when I assume this person didn't have all their stuff together? You know what I mean? Or they didn't, I don't know, like they didn't finish something properly, or the way they've gone about it, it's like unconventional. And it's kind of telling me like people are going to be curious about you while you're feeling like or having all of these like expansive moments. But there's really a need for you to like kind of keep it to yourself, for now, for July at least. This like Watchtower of the North and Winter is that it's that, Jesus, I'm losing the word. Yeah, it's like that hibernation moment. You know what I mean? So even though you're expanding at these new horizons, it's kind of saying like don't give up your secrets just yet. Don't like it's like going back to like have your cake and eat it too. Don't give up the formula just yet to people, or don't kind of let them in and how all of this is actually happening, because it when you start explaining yourself, you kind of let go of the childlike wonder and you fall into like this adulthood and you leave behind the miracles. You know what I mean? And you go from like setting healthy boundaries to now kind of just being like really stuck and harsh. But yeah, this winter is kind of telling me like you'll have a lot of like reflective moments unto yourself, and it's best that you keep these reflective moments to yourself for now, for this month. It's no need to really explain yourself. It's just a matter of enjoying yourself, I think. So this is the what you're embracing and taking with you for the month. So you have 10 of Swords, you have 4 of Coins, and you have Temperance. Temperance. Sweet. So I'm kind of sensing from these cards, like balancing this like chaos mode that you might find yourself in, where again, I'm like seeing like maybe you're not as prepared as you think you are, but you're still like, I'm gonna get it done anyway, and things are gonna get done anyway, and I'm gonna have all of these experiences despite not being 100% prepared or whatever, you know. There's this really need to embrace that like uh, chaos and also the shadows, again, the secrets and shadows that you're like kind of working on within yourself and that people don't really need to know about right now. There's this resources in this 4 of Coins, like it's like embracing your own resources, you know what I mean, like not allowing others to kind of influence you, like not allowing others to kind of type out the story for you, right? You're typing out your own story, kind of writing out your own story, and not allowing others to influence you in so to speak, and what you're you know, what you're building upon, like the story and how it's being built. And you know, this card doesn't really look that pleasant to embrace, the 10 of Swords. It's got literally a sword between the bullseyes, uh, or stabbing through the bullseyes, but it's almost like saying that that's why there's really this need of embracing the the within, the like the churning within, the thinking and everything that's uh happening for you, like within, you know, enjoying the outside but keeping the inside, and your resourcefulness to yourself, and the need to like balance this like delight and like giggling good time um with also being unto oneself. That's a really kind of, that's not an easy like two things to kind of balance, but yeah, that's what I feel like it's telling you. So this is what you're leaving behind and what is falling away for the month. So we have 10 of Pentacles, we have 4 of Cups, and the Wheel of Fortune. Nice. Yeah, so I'm feeling like you don't need to worry about expanding your like what you have so far, like with the Wheel of Fortune and the 10 of Pentacles. You don't have to like expand. Yeah, this is taking me back to like, oh, you're only traveling with half a car, like, oh, I need to travel with a full car in order to make the move, or I need to make sure that you know, I've got all the gas I need to make a move. It's kind of like just make the move. um don't worry about so much as receiving like accolades and like, you know, like really acknowledgement in a sense of like gaining more. You know what I mean? You don't need to gain anything else. Like this 4 of Cups reminds me of like gain kind of like spiritual fulfillment and gaining like wisdom after like reflecting on like the 3 cups that you have, and you know, actually seeing what it is that you want in your life and what fulfills you and everything. It's like you don't need to worry about filling yourself. Again, I'm seeing like the dotting the I's and crossing the T's. It's literally like having your cake and eating it too. Like you already have these resources that you can pull from, right? That you can pull from. You have like this, yeah, like you have these ideas, even if they seem like too intense. You already have the ideas, and you just need to kind of take off with them and let them take off in a big way. You don't need to worry about what they will provide you and what the ideas will be able to offer you. Instead, enjoying it all anyway. Okay. All right, this is going to be the unexpected and unforeseen for the month of July for you. And you have TikTok. TikTok. Yeah. It's so funny. I feel like I was going to see TikTok. TikTok is kind of reminding me of like, um, time is ticking. Like, stop wasting your time. Um, Maybe you're like I said, you're trying to prepare and kind of set a goal to have like this big thing that you wish to attain, and you're trying to do all the things before it, but you just have to make the move for that all to kind of unlock itself anyway. You know what I mean? It's like the resources are already in your disposal. You don't need to gain any more resources. Time is ticking. You need to like make a move. You need to go. Like, miracles need to come into your life. That means you need to like find farther outreaches than what you've considered your home or your place so far. Okay. Okay. So that is what I have for you, pile 4. I hope you enjoyed your reading, and please leave me a comment if you did. If not, that's okay. Until we meet again, have a great day. All right.